From FedEx Field outside of Washington, Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts face LeVar Arrington and the Washington Redskins on ESPN Sunday Night Football.
Rally the troops, man! 1, 2, 3, Manning takes a snap. Fire right, fire left! Yes! Great train, Edwin James.
The Colts superstars must get back on track. The critics are growing restless.
Matthews pass. Danny Werfel. He dropped it. Matthews. Werfel. Ramsey. Matthews with a football. This looks like the fun and gun.
It hasn't been all fun for Steve Spurrier's offense.
LeVar Arrington.
We're going to smash heads. I predict a lot of pain.
The pressure is on the Skins' D to shut down Indy's attack.
Nothing better to do on Sunday.
This is FedEx Field, the largest venue in the NFL, and on a perfect night for football, more than 75,000 are here to see the Indianapolis Colts take on the Washington Redskins. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick. It's great to have you with us. The Redskins have played only 6 games, and they have already gone through all of their quarterbacks. Shane Matthews, who started the season, is the starter again. Will it make a difference? It should, but the rest of the team has to play better as well. The Colts come in at 4-2, but the critics say it's a soft 4-2. They ask, who have they beaten? Well, we know that they'll beat a lot of people, Joe, especially if the triplets play the way we know they can play.
Mike, they haven't really done the job together all year. Peyton has tried to do his best to pick up the slack. Marvin Harrison has simply been Marvin Harrison. The guy that has to get on track tonight is Edwin James. This whole offense is built on 3 basic principles. Run the football, go to play action, and hit the big play. They have not been able to run the football effectively at all. Edwin James missed all of the preseason. You have to figure now, through 6 games of the regular season, his preseason is over. And, Paul, I guess right about now, Edwin James is starting to come into form and starting to play the kind of football that he has to play. Now, he's the guy that will allow Peyton Manning to hit the big plays. And when you look at the other side of the ball, the Redskin defense, they've got so many stars over there, there should be a lot of big plays.
What big plays? They haven't made any big plays. What's happened to this vaunted defense with all these #1 draft choices? Well, Friday we had a chance to talk to Marvin Lewis, the defensive coordinator of the Redskins. So we asked him, we said, you know, what about this team? He said, well, the second half of the Green Bay game, we turned the corner. And he said, tonight we'll all be on the same page. Well, one guy that has to be on the same page is LeVar Arrington. He's big, he's strong, he's nasty, and he'll whack you. He's got 5 sacks, and tonight, he's got to whack Peyton Manning.
It's time. Come on. We got to make us turn the corner. Tonight is our time tonight. Let's go.
We have one reason to win this ball game. Do whatever you got to do. Win on 3.
Welcome back to FedEx Field for the Colts and the Redskins. This weekend is the Redskins' 70th anniversary celebration, and most of the greats in franchise history are here to be part of it. One of the 70 greatest Redskins is still playing, Darryl Green. And Susie, if they had picked the 7 greatest Redskins instead of 70, he would still be on the list.
He's certainly one of the best, and Darryl once told us that if you could compare his career to a rental car, you were bringing it in on empty. What does it signify to you that you're the only active player being honored?
Just the miraculous power of God. I mean, how can me and you the same size? How can it happen? But I'm so humbly blessed by the best city in the world, the greatest fans. I'm overwhelmed. I mean, it makes you speechless.
20 years on this team, another new defense. Your teammates seem to think that you're finally turning the corner. What do you think?
I think so. I think, it's a process, but we keep we keep the right attitudes, a good focus, and we keep moving from there.
Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, one of the best duos in the NFL. How do you shut them down?
Well, we're going to have to do it with energy. We have to do it. We have talent, but we have to do it with high energy because they're definitely high energy, and I think we'll be able to do it.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
Mike?
Thank you, Susie. During the game, we'll be talking with some of the legends this franchise has produced, as well as bringing you part of the halftime celebration. The kickoff from FedEx Field after this.
Okay, kids, here's today's magic stock. We've got big incentives on this one, so get on the phones. We got a lot of stock to move. Tell your customers it's red hot. This one is en fuego. Just don't mention the fundamentals. They stink. There are a couple of courtside playoff tickets for today's winner. Now, let's put some lipstick on this pig. Get to work, people.
There's never been a better time for Charles Schwab. We're different. We don't pay our investment consultants commissions or give them incentives to push stocks. So the advice you get is in your best interest. To learn more, call 1-800-7-SCHWAB.
ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Welcome back to FedEx Field with a big crowd on hand to see the Colts and the Redskins. And if the smiles tonight are a little wider and the cheers are a little louder, you will understand. For almost a month, this area was held hostage by the terror of a sniper. The fear that gripped everyone is gone, and they are ready to cut loose. Tony Dungy, in his first year with the Colts, he's built a reputation for brilliant defense and took a Tampa Bay franchise that was a laughingstock and turned it into perennial contender. His reward, he was left hanging in the wind and then fired. Steve Spurrier, in his rookie season as an NFL head coach, he was remarkably successful as a college coach. 9 10-win seasons at Florida, and he won an ACC title at Duke. Talk about next to impossible. The Colts don't get many touchbacks. In fact, they haven't had one since December of 2000, in spite of the fact that their kickoff man, Mike Vanderjagt, has tremendous range as a field goal kicker. And the Colts coverage teams under Ross Purnell have been much better this year. And we are underway from the nation's capital. Short kick muffed by Kenny Watson. And then Watson takes it out just shy of the 35.
This offense has the man in charge that they need to get the job done. Shane Matthews started the first 3 games of the season, lost his job, was absolutely mad at coach for 3 weeks for benching him. He gives the Redskins the best chance. Look for him to dump the ball off short. And the whole thing with the Redskins start with Stephen Davis. He has to run the football. This Colt defense gave up 182 yards rushing to Pittsburgh just on Monday night. Davis is going to be a big part of what happens tonight.
The Colts 30th in the league out of 32 against the run. And Matthews comes out to throw on first down. Gardner had it knocked away by Walt Harris. The left corner got a hand in on the little slant.
Shane Matthews finally getting his job back. Rod Gardner's been the guy that they need to step up, a little bit like Eric Moulds in Buffalo. Alex Sulf said he's a rookie playing for Chris Samuels, who got hurt.
The middle of that line has been a sieve this year, and now with Samuels, one of their stars out, they may have trouble protecting. Draw play to Davis. Stephen Davis, 10, 11 yards. Mike Peterson made the tackle. Tony Dungy knows what the key to this game is. He has played Stephen Davis before. He held them once to 37 yards and beat the Redskins. One game they got 141 yards on the ground from Stephen Davis, and they lost that game.
And Tony Dungy said, if we don't stop Stephen Davis at the beginning of this game and he gets on a roll, we can't beat him.
3rd and inches for the Redskins as the ball was spotted shy of the 45, and Davis trying to get it off the left side has the first down and plenty more into Colts territory.
The Redskins, and specifically Steve Spurrier, the offensive coordinator and head coach, is really at a crossroads. He loves to throw the ball down the field. But Stephen Davis, if you look at the blocking up front, is the guy that can find the creases and find the holes. And look at the way he runs. He runs with that body lean so that you only get to tackle shoulder pads and try and bring them down.
Davis only with 107 carries in 6 games coming in. He is used to being much more of a workhorse. Matthews, excellent protection, throws underneath. And has his first completion of the night to Davis. Marcus Washington with the tackle.
Well, the key to this Colt football team, and I believe this, it's not necessarily Peyton Manning and Harrison. It's this defense.
Yep.
They have not been able to stop the run. And until they can prove that they can stop the run, they're going to see it game in and game out.
Well, they're missing Josh Williams, who's been hurt all year. He's the guy, he's the big guy that's supposed to be the playmaker for him, the Warren Sapp of this style of defense. He hasn't been available.
Matthews, pump fake, looking for Thompson, but he's not open, and then Thompson gets to the sideline, has it knocked away by Marcus Washington. Matthews has been around a long time, still hasn't played that much. 9 years, 500 as a starter.
I thought it was very interesting when we talked to Shane Joe that he said when he lost his job, and you had already mentioned that, but when he lost his job, he didn't believe that should have happened. And he said a lot of the players on the team didn't think that should happen.
3rd and 6 for Steve Spurrier's offense, and Matthews goes to the shotgun. Boy, it looked like early movement, and they do finally whistle the play dead, but not before Matthews is absolutely drilled. The veteran John Jansen, the right tackle, looked like he backed out early.
Now you had Chad Bratsky over him, number 92, and he's the guy that's...
The snap, ball start, 76. 5 yards, it's still 3rd down.
Bratsky is the guy that lines up outside. Of course, Chad Bratsky lost some weight, got real excited when Tony Dungy got the job. He said, finally, I'm going to be in a defense that suits what I do. He got lean, he got quicker. He's already had 3 sacks, and really that's been his forte, was the sacks, and he struggled in the previous defenses that were in Indianapolis.
He's also learning a lot of new positions. Left end, tackle. Matthews on a flanker screen, complete, and it's going to be a 1st down. The catch made by Darius Thompson.
This is amazing to me. Against the Green Bay Packers last week, this was the Redskins' best pass play. And you'd think that Indianapolis would figure out that they've got to get the ball out of the hands of the receivers in this play. It's a quick screen outside. Nice job by the receivers downfield. Excellent job by McCants, just shielding the corner.
You know, that play is an example of a play that was so successful in college, now almost every pro team runs it. Davis is the single setback. Matthews pushed out of the pocket, throws on the run and throws it away. Check in with Susie. More on Shane Matthews.
Well, Mike, what a roller coaster it's been for him. So excited to rejoin Steve Spurrier in a system that put them both on the map. But everybody got a little too excited about the preseason, the hot start against Arizona, and then reality set in when the Eagles manhandled them. And as Paul said, he's still upset about being benched. He says he knows he's not a star, but he does what he's asked to do. And when he plays bad, he says it, and he didn't think he had played bad.
Well, Susie, virtually every other quarterback Steve Spurrier had at Florida had some experience being benched. Shane Matthews wasn't one of them. He was his first star quarterback, and he was never benched. Stephen Davis on the draw across the 35 to the 34. Middle linebacker Rob Morrison on the stop. Steve Spurrier started with Matthews, then Werfel, then the rookie Patrick Ramsey. Got a couple of shots, played brilliantly in relief, won his first game, then lost 2 as the starter. And he was sacked time after time after time in the last 2 weeks.
13 times in the last 2 weeks.
3rd down, 7 yards to go for the Skins on their opening drive. Matthews flanker screen. McCants makes his first catch of the year, the young man out of Delta State.
You know what boggles my mind is here are the Redskins. They come out and they run the ball so successfully. Then they start throwing the ball, and like 2nd and long, they go to Stephen Davis. Here is a play that they've run time and time again. Why the defense doesn't realize that this is what he's going to throw.
But but this is Steve Spurrier's nature. I would look for him to try to get the ball in the end zone right here.
Draw play, Davis, gaping hole up the middle, and a nice tackle by Rob Morris. He saved a big game.
What basically the Redskins are doing is they're spreading out this Colt defense, making the linebackers get split wide. Look at the splits up front. You see the splits between the defensive linemen and the linebackers. And then the key to any great running game, or even a good running game, is having the ability of wide receivers to block downfields. And the Redskins have got some big ones.
11th play of this drive coming. Matthews short set again. Pressured again. And McCants had it bounce off his hands, incomplete.
You know, Michael, I talked about the defense of the Washington Redskins being on the same page and turning the corner. That's the problem with this Indianapolis Colts defense. They have not turned the corner. They are not on the same page.
They're on the same learning curve as the Redskins.
That's exactly right.
Except they don't have the talent level that Steve Spurrier has on his defensive side of the ball. Shane Matthews talked about Coach Spurrier calling plays and talking to him up into 15 seconds. He said, you hear an awful lot of stuff prior to those 15 seconds.
3rd and 6. Matthews with time has it batted down and nearly picked off in and out of the hands of Mike Peterson, the linebacker.
Mike Peterson last week. In fact, he did pick the ball up last week.
2 weeks in a row.
Pittsburgh, right. He's made some plays, but very similar type of play. All he's doing is keying Shane Matthews, trying to get the ball to Thompson, just reads his eyes and then goes up for it.
So James Tuthill out of Cal Poly will come on to try the field goal. He's hit 5 out of 6 this year and has a very strong leg. This will be from 40 out of the hole of the punter, Brian Barker. And Tuthill is perfect on a 40-yarder. The Redskins take the opening kickoff drive deep into Colts territory and make it pay off with a field goal. Peyton Manning's turn next. The Redskins get points out of their opening drive, which went 13 plays and 43 yards, took over 5 minutes off the first quarter clock. And it was a nice blend of run and pass to get into scoring territory. When was the last time you saw a 42-year-old man on kickoff coverage? Darrell Green, who can still outrun anybody on the field. Troy Walters on the return. Walters spun around and taken down at the 25-yard line. The Redskins defense giving up almost 28 points a game. Peyton Manning will get his shot in a moment. ESPN Sunday Night Football brought to you by the extraordinary NFL XL deal from Pepsi, only at Pizza Hut. See participating stores for details. Acura, the 260 horsepower TL Type S, and new Campbell's Chunky Roasted Favorites, hearty soups that fill you up right. U.S. Capitol Building, home to the Congress since the year 1800. Oh, so many beautiful sights.
Weren't you in the gallery at that time?
I was in an Oval Office last night. I don't know where it was.
Colts start from their own 26. Manning with time over the middle, tipped, almost picked by Arrington. Had a hand on it twice.
You know, I said about this guy at the beginning of the game, LeVar Arrington, he's got to make plays. He is one of their big play guys. Take a look at this guy. Look at the ground he covers. And watch the awareness. When the ball is in the air by Manning, watch this. Up in the air once, up in the air again. He kept that ball alive.
One of the best athletes to ever play this game. Edgerrin James drilled. Got maybe a yard. Jeremiah Trotter led the charge.
That doesn't seem like a very important play to the Colts, but it is. What has to happen, that's their favorite play. It's a stretch play. And that helps set up a lot of the play action that they do. What's very important is to get Edgerrin James running. Get him feeling comfortable. Allow him to find a play that he can take it to the outside. Now, with the Redskins stopping it, he may be reluctant and come back to where all the traffic is.
3rd and long for Manning to the shotgun. Blitz coming. Good protection. Manning hangs in the pocket, throws incomplete, intended for Harrison. 3 and out for the Colts on their opening possession.
And don't ever be surprised to see Peyton Manning throw the ball most of this night to Marvin Harrison. He goes to his playmaker.
And sometimes to a fault.
Absolutely right.
Sometimes he just tries to get the ball to Marvin under all circumstances. That time he's up against Darrell Green, and you got a great receiver against an old guy.
No, he may be an old guy, but he's a good guy.
Hunter Smith to kick to Jacquez Green, who already has 1 return for a touchdown, and a poor kick from Hunter Smith, and it kicks out of bounds. The Redskins will start from their 34 as the defense under Marvin Lewis. He said, I think we finally figured it out. They figured it out on that series. Arrington nearly had a pick. 8:46 to go. First quarter of play from FedEx Field, and the Redskins are already up 3-0. Stephen Davis, 4 carries so far, 24 yards. They'll take a 6-yard average every time. Davis hit in the backfield this time, may have lost a yard, and it was the rookie Raheem Block.
Well, Stephen Davis on that play didn't go very far, but in the first drive, he was the catalyst. They're spreading the Colts out, giving him a chance to pick and choose. And then also, this is what they haven't had from Patrick Ramsey. Little passes to Stephen Davis, little dump-offs. Last year, he rushed for 1,432 yards, 356 carries. This year, he's a little over 400. He has to become a bigger part of the offense.
And around to Thompson. Colts with good pursuit and gang tackled at the 35-yard line. Rob Morris and Chad Bratsky in on the stop. Let's go to Susie.
Mike, more on Stephen Davis and what a team player he is. Running game coordinator Hugh Jackson stressed what a great job Davis did in handling Steve Spurrier's fun and gun mentality. As a Pro Bowl running back, he was used to being the focus of the team, but he bought into the just wait and see mentality, and Spurrier has seen that the offense runs a whole lot smoother when Davis is heavily involved.
And right now, Susie, Kenny Watson, number 32, is in there as the 3rd down back on 3rd and long for the Redskins. 4-man rush. Matthews over the middle, and it's caught. Nice throw, nice catch by Darius Thompson.
Boy, I'll tell you what, this was an excellent grab. Shane Matthews put this ball where it had to be, and Darius Thompson goes up, and watch him just snatch this thing out of the air. Bang, with his hands. Down to his body. That's just an excellent play, both by the quarterback and the receiver.
Look at the size of these receivers. Gardner is 6'2". McCants is 6'3". Thompson is 6'2". Shane Matthews has some big targets.
But they also may be the slowest receivers in the league.
Yeah, but you don't have to go very far.
Play action. Matthews again, good protection. Gardner, what a catch. David Macklin was right there, but so was the ball.
You know what? Rob Morris, number 94, the linebacker, cannot believe he missed the ball. Watch 94. Rob Morris. Watch him get back out. He's back in the play. He's watching the quarterback's eyes. Look at this. I got it. No, you don't.
What a catch. Gardner made the same kind of a catch a week ago. Boy, does that give a quarterback confidence.
Gardner, the leading receiver for the Redskins, but only 30 catches. Davis, gaping hole up the middle. Stephen Davis to the 11.
As you're watching this game, don't you get a sense and a rhythm that Steve Spurrier is in a comfort zone right now? He knows what he wants to do. The plays are coming in quick. Look at how they spread out this defense. Little bit of a crease. Stephen Davis, deceptively quick. Great north-south runner and powerful.
I'll tell you one thing.
He's playing behind an offensive line, too, Paul, that has 2 starters missing. They switched guys all over the place, and they have been beaten up badly in the last couple of weeks. Davis, draw again. Powers his way inside the 10.
You know what? You asked Spurrier the other day about this, about him throwing the ball 190 times a game. You said about running the ball. And I think Spurrier has finally understood the National Football League that you have to run in order to win.
But I think everybody, I mean, he had a lot of success in college, but you have to understand, it's a new game, and he's learned it very well now.
2nd and 2. And Brad Scioli got an early start for Indianapolis.
Encroachment, 99 defense, 5 yards. Result of the penalty is a first down.
Don't you think it's a lot like Brian Billick, who admits he would like to throw the ball 80 times a game, but he sees what he needs to do to win?
Brian, though, has spent a lot of time in this game, and so he understood the personnel a little bit better. Steve Spurrier not only had to understand what would work up here, but he had to understand the people that he's had to do it with. That's why he's gone full cycle back to Shane Matthews as his quarterback.
Out of the eye this time. Davis got just inside the 5 and then pushed back behind Rock Cartwright.
Well, we've talked a lot about this Redskin offense and Stephen Davis, but there you saw the pursuit and the hustle that Tony Dungy and Ron Meeks, the defensive coordinator of the Colts, just hammers away at their ball club. This ball club has caused 17 fumbles. The Colts have 17 fumbles. They've only recovered 5. They only caused 16 all of last year. So a lot of guys are getting to the ball.
And I like what Bradsky said yesterday. We are going to be very good.
2nd and goal, and that's Leonard Stevens, the tight end, number 49 out of Howard. He jumped.
I kind of like that, though. You know,
5 yards. It's still second down.
What would you like about that?
I'll tell you what I like about it. The defense gets offside and they get 5, and then the offense gives it back to them. I think that's kind of neat. Look on the right-hand side of your screen. Now watch how nice they give this back.
You're just a benevolent sort, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just kind of trading off.
It's the first time I've ever heard an offside described as nice on either side.
If you're giving it back, it's nice.
Makes it 2nd and goal for the Skins back near the 9. And now Shane Matthews wants to talk about it. 3:46 to go first quarter. Skins leading and driving for more. Monday Night Countdown at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. The best place to get ready for Monday Night Football. Then on ABC at 9 Eastern, it's the Monday night game. Michael Strahan and the Giants battle Donovan McNabb and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Of course, Deuce Staley, big part of that offense, went over 100 the last time the Eagles played. And if Deuce is running and Donovan gets a chance to throw and run, that's virtually an unstoppable offense.
2nd and goal. Kenny Watson in for Stephen Davis.
Here. Look for him to work the middle of the football field.
Matthews double pump. Pass, touchdown, Darnarian McCants. Nice call, Joe Theis.
He may not have the speed at receivers that he had at Florida, but I promise you, other than Chris Doering, who he coached, he never had the size to deal with that he has at this level.
And Steve Spurrier told us Darnarian McCants hasn't played. We're going to give him a shot.
This is basically very similar to the routes that were run last week by Rod Gardner against Green Bay that Patrick Ramsey overthrew a couple times.
Tuthill for the point after. The Redskins dominating early and at home lead the Indianapolis Colts 10-0. The Redskins have used their first 2 possessions well. 13 plays and a field goal, 8 plays and a touchdown, and they have a 10-0 early lead over the Colts.
And look at the time that they ran off the clock.
And what that does is keep Peyton Manning off the field. Troy Walters on the return. Whacked down at the 25, and a flag is down.
Chris Doering is going to line up in the slot. And what he's going to do is he's going to occupy the safety, get him biting up. Then what you see is the inside receiver. There goes McCants on the outside. He's going to wind up pushing out and keeping this defensive back outside of him. Runs inside for the touchdown. Doering does a nice job of holding the underneath coverage so that McCants can get on top.
You know, Joe, on Friday, Darian McCants was on. We were watching practice, and for 10 minutes, Steve Spurrier chewed him out. You know why? Because he didn't run a slant pattern, a short slant properly.
Well, not properly, but exactly the way that Coach Spurrier wants it run. He coaches the quarterbacks, he coaches the wide receivers, Make no doubt about it. This is his offense.
Colts penalized on the kickoff, pushed back to their 17-yard line. Blitz coming. Manning in trouble. Throws incomplete.
Well, when you talk about receivers, they go to there's a play guy, big play guy. It's Marvin Harrison. They don't care about distribution. They throw the ball to the guys, and they use the guys that are big play guys. The problem with Harrison tonight is he's going up against two very good corners, two of the better corners in the National Football League, in Champ Bailey and Fred Smoot. And this is going to be his problem. But I can assure you one thing: most of the time he's going to be covered one-on-one.
This will be a huge penalty against the Washington Redskins. At the end of the play, a flag comes down. Roughing the passer. Automatic first down for the Colts. Edgerrin James dives forward near the 29-yard line.
And I think that this is what the Colts have to do. They've got to commit themselves to try and run the football. It's an aggressive defense, but what Peyton Manning has to do is give his offensive line a sense that they can block him and give Edgerrin James a chance to be able to run the football and then settle into throwing it. He's been a little bit quick to try to put the ball in the air, and now I think he's got to be careful that he doesn't give himself the opportunities to stay on the field.
Draw play. James caught up in the backfield and knocked down at the 26-yard line. Jeremiah Trotter, the former Eagle, the middle linebacker, made the stop.
And I'll tell you what they're doing, the Redskins, and why their defense has now turned a corner, and they all believe. Jeremiah Trotter that time was going for Peyton Manning, but he was going through Edgerrin James. And they know if they're going to go to Peyton Manning, the first guy we got to stop is Edgerrin James. Then we'll stop Peyton Manning.
And the guy, the center, Jeff Saturday, is the guy that's going to be saddled with trying to block Jeremiah.
3rd and 10. Manning the screen to James. One-hand grab. Stopped shy of the first down. Reached the 32.
The reason why he was stopped is because of the hustle of Ronaldo Wynn, number 97. Here is a defensive end that's coming to put pressure on the quarterback. Then, after the screen has been thrown, wheels around and catches Edgerrin James from behind.
The Colts' only first down in the first quarter by penalty. Jaquez Green waits at his 27-yard line for the punt of Hunter Smith. Returnable kick from the 29. He's got great speed trying to get to the outside. Now gives ground and taken down at the 22. A loss of 7 on the return. David Gibson, solid tackle on special teams. Wednesday night, the NBA season tips off on its new home, ESPN. At 7 Eastern, Michael Jordan and the Wizards, Vince Carter and the Raptors. Then at 9:30 Eastern, Kobe Bryant and the Lakers start their quest for their 4th straight NBA title against the Trailblazers.
Joseph, I'm so glad that Michael Jordan didn't quit.
I'm tickled Michael came back. But, hey, it's a good thing it isn't the Lakers and the Kings, or else this wouldn't be a basketball game. It'd be a boxing match based on the last preseason. Can't wait to get down to the MCI Center and watch some hoops.
Talk about ball control. 10 minutes and 14 seconds for the Redskins. The Colts have only had it 2:44, and the first quarter is almost over. Stephen Davis again out to nearly the 30-yard line. David Gibson made the tackle. This is a patchwork offensive line at best. Alex Solstead starting his first game. David Laverne only his 6th. Larry Moore is the veteran in the middle of that line with 55 starts in 6 years. Brendan Stye is hurt, so Wilbert Brown comes into play. And John Jansen, the solid right tackle. Chris Samuels has been playing with 4 different injuries. Finally unable to start tonight. Back to the workhorse. Davis, first down out to the 34-yard line.
I'll tell you what's frightening about this ball game so far for the Indianapolis Colts is that they are on first down picking up anywhere from 6 to 8 yards. And that's going to be a killer to this defense.
I mean the Redskins on offense.
The Redskins
right.
on offense against this Colt defense.
Colts offense is picking up on an average of 6 to 8 inches on first down.
Yeah.
And Tony Dungy would just as soon forget about the first quarter. It was forgettable if you're a Colts fan. The end of the first quarter, Redskins 10, Colts nothing. For my money, the most beautiful monument in all of Washington, the Lincoln Memorial. If you haven't seen it, you ever have a chance, do it.
The Vietnam Memorial, to me, is that wall.
Well, that's certainly more emotional.
Boy, it sure is. And there's nothing more emotional than that. Old Glory.
1st and 10 Redskins. They have just come out and busted the Colts right in the chops. Stephen Davis has already rushed for 59 yards. That's in 1 quarter. Matthews to throw underneath, and Davis couldn't catch it. Let's go to Susie.
Well, Mike, you know, last week was the first time that a Steve Spurrier coach team hadn't scored a touchdown in 164 straight games. That's since September of '89. So he admitted he's going to have to try to win like everybody else. 4- and 5-yard runs, much to his chagrin, and maybe they win 10-6. You know, all his teams, he's used to scoring 35 points a game, but the Redskins hadn't scored 35 yet.
Susie, and also they're going to have to throw 4- and 5-yard patterns.
Like
right
this.
Here. Yeah.
Stephen Davis, little screen. Takes it out to the 43, couple of yards shy of a first down. Brad Scioli chased it down from behind.
One of the things that Steve Spurrier has with Shane Matthews is he has a quarterback who moves around a little bit more. He's also been convinced that he just can't drop back 7 steps and run this offense like he tried to in college. Shane Matthews gives him the movement that he needs to make plays and also the understanding of the offense to know where everyone is. Patrick Ramsey is not there yet.
They had too many guys in the huddle.
Illegal substitution, 12 in the huddle, 5 yards, repeat 3rd down.
And that takes them out of a 3rd and short situation, the kind of mistakes they've been making most of the year.
Paul, do you think they'll run that little slip screen to the wide receiver on this particular play again?
And
possibly?
why not? And why not? I mean, Shane Matthews, the other thing about Shane is that he said to us the other day is that not only does he know the offense, he can get them into the right play. He knows how to move the people around. And that's the thing that Patrick Ramsey could not do.
It's always been one of the qualities you admired about Shane Matthews, that and the fact that he doesn't allow himself to be sacked to get rid of the ball. And now the Redskins are going to have to burn another timeout. Steve Spurrier upset because the play clock was running down. We'll take the break. We'll be back to FedEx Field in a moment. ESPN Sunday Night Football brought to you by Microsoft, providing software for the agile business. Toyota, get the feeling. And Miller Lite. Life is best told at a place called Miller Time. This is the Economy Party Supply Store. Kids from D.C. picking up their costumes for Thursday.
All of my masks were gone.
Is that going to be your Halloween costume now?
No.
He's Joe Theismann. There's Paul. Sorry, that was too easy. Stephen Davis. Nice cut. Finally overwhelmed at the 45-yard line, but that is a first down.
Again, it's a nice job by the 5 guys up front of the Redskins controlling the 4 guys of the Indianapolis Colts. What Spurrier is doing is he's spreading them out. And then he's allowing Stephen Davis to go one-on-one. You can't bring Stephen Davis down in the open field as an individual one-on-one tackler.
Stephen Davis on his way to a career game, 68 on the ground already, 11 carries. And the Redskins offense functioning perfectly. Davis again across midfield near the 47-yard line.
You know what's happening?
Check it, that was Kenny Gibson.
You know what's
Kenny
happening
Watson.
with this defense of the Indianapolis Colts, and we were talking to Rob Morris yesterday, and you know everybody's got a gap, everybody's got to go someplace, and the biggest problem that's happening to these guys is the Redskins are blocking very well at that gap, and only one guy is in position to make a tackle. And if they don't make a tackle, it's a 10, 12-yard gain.
Watson stays in to give Davis a breather. Gardner end around. Looks like he wants to throw. Tipped and incomplete. It was intended for Darius Thompson. Knocked away by Walt Harris and David Gibson.
That play is typical of what I talked to Ron Meeks about. And when he told me, the defensive coordinator of the Colts, he said, my biggest concern is that you just don't know what Steve Spurrier's going to do. He's so unconventional, and as Tony Dungy said, he's uninhibited in the way he wants to call a game. It can be a reverse pass. It can be quick screens. It'll go down the field. He hasn't really settled into a pattern where I think defensive coaches can get a feel for him. Nor do I think he will.
3rd and 3. 3 wideouts in, including Chris Doring. Watson gets the ball, fighting for first down yardage, and appears to have it at the Colts 43. Josh Mallard made the tackle, the rookie out of Georgia. But the Redskins continue to pound away.
Kenny Watson's an interesting story. He goes to Penn State. He winds up being a wide receiver at Penn State. His senior year, he rushed the ball 7 times. 7 times. Now, he's got excellent hands. So that's what you're going to get. But he's really settled in. He's about 5'11", 215 pounds. Nice changeup for a Stephen Davis.
Good 3rd down back with those hands. Davis is back in on 1st and 10. And the Colts getting a huge dose of Stephen Davis, for the most part, straight up the middle.
Well, I'll tell you what's happening here, and which is, again, is bad for Indianapolis. These guys are blocking one-on-one in that offensive line. Watch this hole open up back to the inside. You see what they're doing? They're just, wherever the defensive linemen or linebackers want to go, they just go ahead and take them. They ride them out. And then there's a big hole back in the middle.
It's almost like a big old stretch play.
Exactly.
Just spread them out,
and then they run them back towards the middle.
Matthews changing the play. Throwing the fade. That one's incomplete. Intended for Doring, the great hands receiver out of the University of Florida, where Matthews played as well. Peyton Manning may have to warm up again. The offense has only had 6 plays. They've gained but 7 yards.
They gained more on the penalty.
Yes, they did. It was their only first down.
The Redskins offense is doing a great job of defensing Edgerrin James, Peyton Manning, and Marvin Harrison, because they can't hurt you when they're sitting on the bench.
2nd and 10 for the Redskins. Matthews wants to change the play again. 4-man rush. Look at the protection. Nobody even near him. Now Matthews throws on the run, intended for Doring. Touchdown! It looked like the Colts secondary went to sleep, and Matthews threw a strike to Chris Doring.
I'll tell you, Walt Harris, number 21, was on Doring, and he's watching him. But Walt Harris is looking back at the quarterback, and he doesn't get deep enough, and he thinks he can knock this ball down. Look at this. Number 21 is Harris. Doring gets behind him. He doesn't have a chance at the ball.
Chris Doring was not given a Division I scholarship as a player coming out of high school. He finally got one in Florida, set an SEC record with 31 touchdown catches. He gets his first of the year now. Redskins offensively, defensively, and special teams whitewashing the Indianapolis Colts at 17-0. Chris Doring with his first touchdown reception of the year. Walters is deep for the Colts from the 5. Sam Shade made the stop.
When a quarterback scrambles, it's the job of the wide receiver to continue to try and work. Find a place to go. You want somebody to come back. You want somebody else to head towards the end zone. Shane Matthews does a nice job. He audibilizes, doesn't get what he wants. Now he buys time by movement, and right about the line of scrimmage, he just hangs this up. Chris Doering does a nice job of staying focused, and Walt Harris tried to get up and knock it away, but got his feet caught.
Manning to throw on first down. Edgerrin James in the flat. Arrington missed the tackle, and that's been a problem for that tremendous linebacker this year. He has missed several tackles.
He missed the tackle, but he delayed Edgerrin James long enough to have the rest of the defense get up there, and it was still a 3-yard loss.
We talked about what Rob Morris told us, the middle linebacker of the Colts, about trying to get the defense to work together. It's the same challenge that Marvin Lewis, the defensive coordinator of the Redskins, has. He has so many stars that all these guys want to try and make individual plays. He's trying to get them to play together as a team more.
Peyton Manning didn't get the play in. He couldn't hear a play. He's calling this one on his own.
Little shovel pass. Edgerrin James. Across the 30 to the 32, where Jeremiah Trotter made the stop.
Peyton Manning is going to the sidelines right now. He can't hear the play. Look at, he's walking all the way to the sidelines. Either his headset isn't working. Look at this. This happened on the last play. He just threw his hands up and made that last call on his own.
He walks all the way over to Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator, who's on the sideline.
3rd and 6. The only first down the Colts have had the entire game came on a roughing the passer penalty.
This is one they need bad to stem the tide.
Movement. And the right tackle, Waverly Jackson, is playing for the injured Adam Meadows, came out of his stance.
74 offense, 5 yards, it's still 3rd down.
Guys, doesn't this look painfully for the Colts just like Monday night against the Steelers? They get down right away. They get to a 3rd down convertible situation, and one of the tackles moves, and they wind up with 3rd and 10 and 3rd and 11.
I'll tell you, when you're playing this poorly, away, with all the noise, you can't afford to make any mistakes.
4 wide receivers on 3rd and 11. Manning sidearms it, and incomplete, almost intercepted. Trotter tried to pick it off the top of the grass. Another 3 and out for the Colts.
Look at the pressure, and look at how uncomfortable Peyton Manning is in the pocket. This is a slingshot off his hip, and believe me, this is not the way Peyton Manning likes to throw. There's a little sidearm slingshot trying to get the ball to Edgerrin James. This offense is about as out of sync as I've seen it in 4 years.
Jaquez Green, line drive punt from Hunter Smith. Nice return by Jaquez Green, 11 yards on a 37-yard line drive punt. Cliff Crosby, as usual, makes the tackle on Colts special teams. Redskins on top 17-0 here at home over the Colts. They have stymied them in every possible area of this game.
And this is a point where you think to keep Peyton Manning under wraps, Steve Spurrier would just want to take another shot and try and get a big play.
Matthews comes near side. It's the first-year tight end Leonard Stevens. Let's go to Susie with a special guest.
Well, Billy Kilmer led the Redskins to the Super Bowl in 1972. You know, he's dancing in the break. How much would you still love to be out there?
Well, no, I don't know if I want to go out there now. I'd like to get the money they're getting now, but these kids, they know how to play the game now. I'm better off right here with you on the sideline.
What did you think of the whole quarterback carousel of the Redskins of 2002?
Well, the reason about this carousel is they're not winning. You know, when Sonny and I were vying for our quarterback controversy, we were winning. Both of us were winning. We had a good team behind us, and we didn't want to break up any continuity, so we helped each other. But, you know, here they're trying to find a combination, trying to win, and it's a little different.
From quarterback to quarterback, your impressions of Peyton Manning?
Well, I've always loved Peyton. In fact, his daddy, Archie, got me out of New Orleans here and watched the Redskins that got me out of purgatory.
Thanks, Billy. Great to see you.
Matthews down the middle to McCants. A perfect strike to the 5-yard line. Gain of 32.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm watching this defense, and they look like, okay, we're going to settle. We're going to go one place. They told us this is the area they want us in. Watch the middle of this field open up. Here goes McCants, 85. Look at the middle. It is wide open, and nobody's covering anybody.
One of the reasons the middle was open was the play fake to Stephen Davis, who's been killing him. The linebackers had to respect it. Now it's 1st and goal. Davis trying to get to the outside, picks up a yard, ridden down by Marcus Washington. We had the interview with Billy Kilmer. Has anyone ever enjoyed his life more than Billy Kilmer?
I played 4 years with Billy. I competed with him. The thing that I admire so much about Billy Kilmer, he really didn't throw a pretty pass. Sonny Jurgensen threw a beautiful pass.
Yeah.
Billy Kilmer was one of the greatest competitors that I ever had the privilege to play with. This guy was an unbelievable competitor. Get hit in the mouth, come back, and throw another one.
2nd and goal. Davis on the toss. Boy, an excellent job by Rob Morris, the middle linebacker. Showed you some speed that time. Came from the middle all the way to the sideline to make the tackle.
All right, this Rob Morris is a robot. This guy, folks, can I tell you what? If you ever have a chance to even say hello to him and see him in the airport, sit down and talk to him for 20 minutes. You'll laugh forever. But he can play the game. He's a tough kid. He played at Brigham Young, and he never had to worry about running because all they did was ever pass over there. He said this was a new game to him. But I'll tell you what, he's learning it very well.
He admitted coming out of college that he really didn't understand the game. He just chased a guy with a ball. He was so good at it that he was a first-round draft choice out of BYU.
Look for that again.
3rd and goal. Matthews incomplete, intended for Doring. Crowd wants a flag. Adrees Bashir, the free safety in coverage.
I tell you, Shane Matthews is throwing the ball very, very well.
Well, he did in the beginning of the year. I mean, Shane Matthews knows where he wants to go with the football, but more importantly, he knows what Steve Spurrier wants him to do with the football. And you almost have to feel like this is a psychological lift for the Colt defense. The Redskins didn't score a touchdown when they got down close.
It's a very small lift.
Every little bit counts at this point.
Tuthill from 23 is already hit from 40. Tuthill is 2 for 2. And the Redskins add to their lead. 2nd quarter here at FedEx Field, celebrating the 70th anniversary team. Redskins 20, Colts nothing. Steve Spurrier talking to his new starting quarterback, Shane Matthews, the man who opened the season, and tonight has been very, very good in leading his team to 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals here in the first half. Still 6:10 to go in the half, and the Colts have done nothing on offense. Zippo. Walters. Twisting and turning his way up to the 34.
The key play in that drive was a big pass play, and this is the Tampa 2 where the corners are up. McCants is going to go down the middle. The linebackers suck up on the play-action fake. Both safeties go back to their halves, and there's absolutely nobody in the middle of the football field. Shane Matthews does an excellent job of anticipating where McCants is going to be, and he gets the ball out quickly. That was the biggest problem with Patrick Ramsey. He'd get similar routes, but didn't see to anticipate.
The Indianapolis Colts have gained 11 yards in the first half. The Colts. Marvin Harrison wide open. He came into the weekend the #1 pass receiver in the NFL, and you knew you couldn't hold him down forever.
Well, they don't care about Indianapolis about distribution. They care about playmakers. He just faked to one, Edgerrin James, number 32. And then he finds Marvin Harrison running across the field free. And he hits him.
You still have to respect Edgerrin James if the ball's flashed in front of him.
James on the delay. Trotter horse-collared him and took him down at the 42.
Another missed tackle by LeVar Arrington. You know, that's 2. The last drive, and again this drive.
Oh, now you're being a little hard on that one.
I don't understand. This guy is a tremendous athlete. He's got great speed, range. He can do all these things. And why he's missing tackles, even he can't explain it.
Well,
he's not overrunning the play. Look at here.
How about him getting blocked?
Well,
is that?
but he got
a tough one in that one.
No. Get outside and make the tackle.
Manning with time underneath to Edgerrin James. Nowhere to go. Jeremiah Trotter again. And Trotter incredibly active tonight at middle linebacker.
The difference in Peyton Manning, when they got down 21-0 to Pittsburgh, he tried to make plays. We saw him at the end of the half throw a very uncharacteristic interception. What it looks like he's doing now, even though he hasn't thrown a lot of balls, he's being more patient. He's just trying to pick up the first downs and make plays instead of forcing the ball down the field. They get on the board here, they'll be okay.
2 tight ends on 3rd and 3. Play action. Manning to the wide open Pollard. And the big tight end down to the 20-yard line, finally dragged down by David Terrell.
Play action is an amazing thing, isn't it?
It's great for protection, one thing. But also, look at the reaction of the Redskin defense. Look at all those burgundy jerseys take off to the right. And Marcus Pollard just comes across the formation on the other side. There's number 81, releases underneath, and you saw the Redskins just clear him in a hurry.
James off the right side, takes it out. Started to cut it back, then took it out again, and Champ Bailey helped to stretch out the defense and make the stop.
We asked Tony Dungy about Peyton Manning, about his faking, ball handling. He said, I've never seen anyone better than he is. They said DeBerg was very good at it, but this guy here, he lets you see the entire ball before he takes it away. And when he shows you the ball and you go for it, that's when he takes it away from the running back.
2nd and 9. The Colts desperately need points out of this drive. Blitz coming. Manning has to throw this one away. Didn't have time to get it to Qadry Ismail.
Oh, Ismail was so wide open if he has time because he just ran off the corner, Fred Smoot, and he came back. There was nobody around him. Look at Ismail on the top of the screen, number 83. There's Smoot covered. Watch this. Gone. Turns. But Manning didn't have enough time to set and throw.
I think Ismail really stumbled coming out of his break a little bit, too. Looks like he got hung up out there.
3rd and 9. The only threat of the night so far for Indianapolis.
Peyton Manning doing what he does so well, totally controlling the situation.
Blitz. And down he goes at the 32. Jesse Armstead, the former Giant Pro Bowler, makes a big play.
Well, what Peyton Manning did, he pointed out everybody but Jesse Armstead. I mean, he can't pick them all up. And there wasn't enough people. They sent more people. Watch this. Jesse Armstead is going to come free. He has to. There's just not enough right up the middle. There's just not enough people to block.
That's a case where the defensive linemen sacrifice themselves to occupy the offensive linemen and give the linebacker a chance to make his play. Marvin Lewis will be so excited about that particular play because guys sacrifice so that someone else could make a play.
The Colts will use a timeout with 2:20 to go in the half. Check if they did not use a timeout. It was a delay of game that cost them 5. They could have tried a 49-yard field goal at this point, but it looked like Mike Vanderjagt, the field goal kicker, was a little bit lame in warm-ups. Perhaps that is the reason that they go with Hunter Smith. And Chris Doering with those great hands is back to take the punt. Check it, Champ Bailey back to take the punt and makes the fair catch. 27-yard kick, but inside the 20. Next Sunday night, 7:30, join Chris Berman and Tom Jackson for NFL Primetime. Then Mark Brunell and the Jaguars travel to the Meadowlands. They'll take on Michael Strahan and the Giants on ESPN's Sunday Night Football at 8:30.
Going to have a chance to see Jeremy Shockey again.
Yeah, and also the Jaguars lost a heartbreaker. How about the Houston Texans? Congratulations, Coach Capers. They got one.
And you want congratulations.
Two, actually.
How about Emmitt Smith? Heart of a warrior, and he breaks Walter Payton's record. Congratulations.
With a lot of games left.
Stephen Davis lost the ball. The Colts have it. Picked up by James Canada. What a break for Indianapolis.
Boy, when you think everything's falling apart, and all of a sudden you have the offense just put the ball on the ground for you. Canada picks up. He almost scored.
Then on the other side of it, when you think things are going so well, they start to come apart.
Yeah, that's true. Look at it. But, I mean, he just bumps into his own man. This is all Stephen Davis. He wasn't stripped of the ball. He just didn't have control of the ball. You have to protect the football. Look at this. He runs into his own man, and the ball drops out.
Raheem Brock, number 79, the rookie, free agent from Temple, winds up knocking it out.
First and goal, Colts with 2:07 to go in the half. Edger and James lost his balance and went down. He lost a yard. Edger and James has had no room to run against the Redskins defense tonight. The Colts trail 20-0, but they have a second and goal at the Redskins 3. Edger and James being dominated by the Redskins defense, and Stephen Davis with 80 yards in the first half. Davis receiving treatment on the Redskins sideline right now, and Edger and James on the field twice. The rushing leader in the NFL tonight. He is averaging 1 yard a carry.
And everybody you talk to says he's back, he's healthy, he looks good. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. Edger James is nowhere near the player he was 2 years ago before he got hurt. Not yet, anyway.
Manning. Jim Finn at the goal line where he is sandwiched. Shade and Trotter just hammered him.
Folks, do you have any idea what a great catch this is?
Just holding on to it.
Yeah, just saving your life. Finn will never run with the ball, but he will catch it. Watch this. Bang, bang. And he holds on to the football. That's incredible.
Third and goal. James. And the Redskins
are offside.
Offside. It looked like LeVar Arrington got a two-step head start and hurdled over the line.
LeVar Arrington was airborne. This was, remember number 11 at Penn State?
Offside, 56 defense. Half of this is to the goal. Repeat third down.
When he was at Penn State, watch 56. At Penn State, he was 11. Look at this. He just didn't time it.
He had a flashback to Illinois.
You don't think Peyton Manning's eyes were wide open when he saw that?
Well, the problem with the Colts are not physically strong enough up front to knock them off. Manning's going to have to throw the football to get it in here.
Or run it.
Manning on the bootleg touchdown, Colts.
I would almost guess that he did that on his own. I think that Peyton Manning has the ability to understand what's going on, and he knows that they're not going to knock him off up front. So he just says, let's call this play, and I'm just going to keep it. Watch the good fake, because if you tell people, they don't sell it as much. There he is. Good play action fake, and you talked about it before, Paul. He flashes that ball. You have to respect that.
Well, all of
a sudden he goes around the corner.
The way this is looks, though, I think he called this in the huddle because Edger and James just stopped.
Vanderjagt point after, and the Colts, courtesy of a Stephen Davis fumble, get on the board with 1:13 to go in the second quarter.
But Spurrier won't sit here on 113, will he?
I have a question for you.
Okay, I got the answer.
I was going to say, boss.
I've got it. Go.
Do you think Steve Spurrier will sit on it at this point?
Is there an echo in here?
No, I'm serious. What do you think?
No.
See, I think he should.
I think he should, but I don't think he will.
I think he will also.
Well, it'll depend again.
No.
Yeah, it will depend. I'm not hedging. It'll depend on field position.
This will be the first time you haven't hedged.
Well, but the thing about it is Vanderjagt can't kick the ball past the 25-yard line anyway, and they're going to have great field position.
They'll probably wind up with good field position. Peyton Manning, you can see his completion percentage starting to come up a little bit. Couple of big catches. Marvin Harrison makes a big crossing catch. Marcus Pollard makes a big crossing catch.
And don't forget the Jim Finn catch at the 1.
Just hanging on to it. I don't think that the Colts are going to have success running the football. As Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator of the Colts, and Peyton Manning sit down and want to approach this second half, they have to figure out a way to do some misdirection to get the Redskins running because they want to get to the ball so quickly.
Vanderjagt to kick. Watson and Betts are deep. Betts. 20, 30, 40. Vanderjagt, the only man back. And the kicker makes the saving tackle.
Okay, Joe. They're not going to sit on it.
Oh, okay. What a great job he does of getting into the wedge. That is such a big key. You've got to get close to the blockers so that when they throw the blocks, you're through. Look at that. He nuzzles right in behind the wedge, and then it opens up, and wham, he's right through it. Great play by Vanderjagt.
A 60-yard return for the second-round draft choice, the rookie out of Iowa. Redskins with one timeout at their disposal. Matthews, screen, tipped, he caught it himself. The last thing he wanted to do, Chad Bratsky tipped it up in the air. Let's go to Susie.
And Mike, at halftime here, they're celebrating 70 years of the Redskins. All the greats are here. Art Monk, 3 Super Bowl titles. How would you compare this offense to the one you played in?
Well, very similar. Very pass-minded, and you know, with Gibbs, we threw the ball a lot, so it's very similar.
Have a great time at halftime.
Thank you.
Matthews will try to take it himself, gets down to the 37-yard line.
Well, I tell you got to admire Matthews a little bit, and then there's a little stupidity here. I can see it. Well, he's trying to get his team in field goal range, and he's sacrificing his body. There's a reason why he's now playing quarterback. Protect him. Protect yourself.
Yeah, but don't instincts take over? I mean, you want to do it. He's far enough from the sidelines. He fakes it out, wants to pick up a few extra yards so that he can possibly make the first down. I believe that they'll call the routes to 15 yards to try and pick it up. But look for Steve Matthews to dump this off, probably towards the middle of the field, to give Tuttle an opportunity to be able to have a shot at a field goal.
Where instincts take over, you want to show me your leg again? When the instincts take over?
That's where the instinct didn't take over. That was the problem. Look at those total yards.
Oh, that's frightening.
If you're a Colt, the fact that you're only 13 points down
is a gift.
Is absolutely.
And there you were right back in the ball game, and you let a kickoff return take them and put them back in scoring position.
3rd and 12 for Matthews. Here comes the blitz. One of the rare times they tried to come and put pressure on in the pass too high for McCants.
That one took off. Shane Matthews, that's one of those high, hard ones that just gets away from him.
You know, it's never happened to me, but obviously it's happened to you. And I'm not trying to be funny, but that's got to be a strange feeling when you go to throw and that thing's gone.
You know, the problem is it starts to sneak out. It starts to sneak out on you, and you just want to squeeze it and bring it back, and it never comes back.
From here, it would be about a 55-yard field goal, so they will go for it on 4th and 12. Matthews with time down the middle, complete again to Darius Thompson. Now the Redskins trying to hustle down and down the ball.
They have no timeouts.
What a job by Shane Matthews. He knew the middle of the field would be open, and he used it and got to completion. Coming up at the half, the Kia halftime show with Chris Berman. Emmett gets the record, the fastest 3 minutes in television, and we will show you the 70 greatest Redskins as they celebrate their 70th anniversary.
Congratulations, Joe Theismann.
Thank you, Paulo.
Indeed. Tuthill has already hit 2. This will be from 41. You know, when they had the banquet on Friday night, Joe, that you went to, when they were showing clips of it on the news, it brought back so many memories of so many great players who have done so many brilliant things here.
It was really an honor to be in a room with all those people, and it was really interesting to watch Steve Spurrier sit and talk to Joe Gibbs, because Steve has referenced a lot about bringing back the traditions that Coach Gibbs had built here, and to listen to the two of them, watch the two of them converse and talk. And there's Ron McDowell on the right, Billy Kilmer, Sonny Jurgensen, the red man. Still throws the most beautiful pass you've ever seen. Only goes about 5 yards now, but it's still the most beautiful thing.
But it's a spiral.
It sure is.
Tuthill with 4 seconds on the clock will try from 41. And drilled it. That's about as good as the Redskins can play on both sides of the ball. They were dominant. One fumble led to the only Indianapolis score as Peyton Manning in the offense could do very little. Let's go to Susan.
Steve, Shane is rolling tonight. It looked like on that Doring touchdown a perfect audible. Can you take us through that play?
No, that was just a scramble play. We're very fortunate. Chris got behind him, and Shane got it down into the end zone. Unfortunately, we fumbled down there, but that was a nice field goal at the end of the half. Tuthill's a good kicker. He's doing well.
All right, Susie, our score here at FedEx Field, 23-7 Redskins. Now let's join Chris Berman for the Kia halftime show.
All right, so a big night, Michael, on reunion night of the Redskins. We look forward to certainly halftime festivities there at FedEx Field. But the main rival of the Redskins, the Dallas Cowboys, one of the biggest nights in NFL history because it happens once a generation. Emmitt Smith has now broken Walter Payton's all-time mark and stands atop the all-time rushing list in the National Football League. And here's how it happened. And it happened where it should happen, in Dallas, where they've been cheering him since 1990. Family of Walter and, of course, Emmitt Smith on hand to watch. Emmitt gained 55 yards against the Seattle Seahawks in the first quarter alone. And then this run, an 11-yard scamper up the middle in the second half, enabled Emmitt Smith to pass Walter Payton, #1 all-time. Then he cemented it on the same drive with this scamper of 14 more yards. And then fittingly, Emmitt, for the 150th time on the ground, touchdown, tied the game. Cowboys eventually lost 17-14, but Emmitt paid homage to the man he passed.
Especially to try to share with the Payton family, because he is the individual that I was definitely chasing after, but he meant so much to me in terms of the things that I was able to gather from him in terms of knowledge, inspiration, wisdom, and the person that he was.
109 yards equals 16,743 for his career, surpassing Sweetness. Interesting to note, the man that set the record when he passed the mark in 1963 was Jim Brown. That old mark of 12-3-12. Brown hasn't carried the ball since 1965. He still stands #6. There's the list as Emmitt continues his climb up to 17,000 yards and beyond. Congratulations to a great player and a classier act, a man that respects professional football. Elsewhere around the league, after a bye, the now 3-3 defending champion Patriots look like they need more time off. Brian Greasy to Shannon Sharp touchdown, Clinton Portis touchdown. Broncos win in Foxborough 24-16. Raiders have all of a sudden lost 3 in a row. Chiefs Priest Holmes up the middle touchdown. Jerry Rice fumbled despite another 300-yard passing game for Rich Gannon. Chiefs beat the Raiders 20-10. The Raiders were the last unbeaten team. Buffalo Bills are 5-3, just a half behind idle Miami. With Drew Bledsoe, watch the moves by Peerless Price. Both he and Eric Moulds over 100 yards. It was Price's birthday. They're tied at 14 against the Lions. Werewolves of London Fletcher. Makes the defensive play to save the day for Buffalo. 24-17 at home over Detroit. Wild game in New Orleans. Deuce McAllister bowling over the Falcons. Saints lead 35-34. Michael Vick, who ran for 91 yards, passed for close to 200. Took himself out of the game with seconds to go after he got knocked out here. But Jay, see me, feely, kicky, Winnie, 37-35 bounce. Rob Johnson, starting for Tampa, scrambling for a first down. He was knocked out of the game in the final minute against Carolina. Sean King in. Quick swing to Carl Williams. Martin Gramatica. He had 4 field goals. The Panthers had 3. Bucks are 6-2. They win 12-9. Battle for first in the NFC West. Jeff Garcia to Terrell Owens. A huge 31-7 halftime hold for the Niners. Had Candlestick over Arizona. They're in first. They're 5-2. They win 38-28. Showdown for first in the AFC North. Famous Amos Zaraway playing for the injured Jerome Bettis of the Steelers. Very quickly, Steelers on top in Baltimore. Tommy Maddox, 11 for his first 11. Plexico burst touchdown, 31-18 Pittsburgh. Jets, big early lead, but after Tim Couch's touchdown pass pulled Cleveland to within 2, this improbable 2-point conversion, Dennis Northcutt tied it. John Hall was Oates. Your kick is on my list. Blocked by Courtney Brown. Browns win it 24-21. Oh, those tricky Texans. Down by 1, Jabbar Gaffney. Laterals to Aaron Glenn. It's a 48-yard punt return. Down to the 33. Setting up. Ex-Steeler, now good. Chris Brown. 45 yards. Houston shocks the Jags 21-19. What has happened to the Bears? 13 wins last year, 5 straight losses this year. Culpepper to Moss, 39 yards. The Lions beat the Bears 25-7. And something's never changed. The Cincinnati Bengals had a big lead, but Tennessee lead 27-24, and only the Bengals could stop their own winning touchdown. Corey Dillon tripping over his blocker, Matt O'Dwyer. Oh, man. The Bengals 0-7 as they fall to the Titans.
This halftime show is presented by Kia and the all-new Sorrento SUV. Kia, make every mile count.
Adolph Sonny Jurgensen, one of the 70 Redskins back, as the Redskins honor their greatest. We'll see that at the half.
Welcome back to the Kia Halftime Show with your host, Chris Berman.
23-7, an impressive first half for Shane Matthews and the Redskins as they lead the Colts. Game 7 of the World Series going on, and those never say die Anaheim Angels, with 2 out in the 5th inning, lead the Giants 4-1. The home team has won the last 7 Game 7s. However, dating back to the 20s to Babe Ruth, the road team has won 13, the home team 10. All we know is the home team's up 4-1 at the bottom of the 5th. John Lackey, the youngster, pitching for the Angels. The Giants' Kirk Reeder, now the 3rd pitcher on, was Liban Hernandez, then Chad Zerbe, and now Reeder. So the Angels, and now have gone to the top of the 6th. Angels 4 innings away from perhaps winning their first World Series. The Giants franchise hasn't won it since they were, of course, the New York Giants, 1954, and don't we know that? Mike Patrick and the gang with a little history of their own at FedEx Field. Michael, some great skins.
Welcome to a special halftime event in the nation's capital as ESPN helps the Redskins celebrate the 70th anniversary of this storied franchise. The fans have voted on the 70 greatest Redskin players of all time, and the first 60 have been introduced. We would like to share the final 10 recipients of this honor with our television audience. He is the all-time leading scorer for the Redskins and has the NFL single-season record for the best field goal percentage. Please welcome kicker Mark Mosley. This Hall of Famer was named to the Pro Bowl 12 straight years and helped anchor the defensive unit for the Over the Hill Gang. Please welcome safety Kenny Houston. This former All-Pro led the Redskins to the Super Bowl in 1972 and passed for over 20,000 yards in his career. Please welcome quarterback Billy Kilmer. This Hall of Famer was selected to 8 Pro Bowls, led the league in receiving twice, and scored 90 touchdowns. He played both running back and wide receiver. Please welcome Charlie Taylor. This Hall of Famer was a ferocious competitor that never left anything on the field. He finished his career with 30 interceptions and numerous great hits. Please welcome linebacker Sam Huff. He was a 3-time Super Bowl champion with the Redskins. This Pro Bowler has the most catches in Redskins history and caught passes in 183 consecutive games. Please welcome wide receiver Art Monk. This Pro Bowler led the Redskins to victory in Super Bowl 17. He is the team's all-time passing yardage leader. Please welcome quarterback Joe Theismann. This Hall of Famer twice led the league in receiving yards. He holds the team record for receiving yardage in a single season. Talented and hardworking. Please welcome flanker Bobby Mitchell. This current Redskin has been one of the fastest players in the NFL throughout his 20 years in the league. He is the franchise interception leader with 54, including 6 returned for touchdowns. He is playing tonight and will be missed when he retires next year. Please welcome cornerback Darryl Green. And this Hall of Famer won 3 NFL passing titles and captured the imagination of Redskin fans throughout the region. His ability to make great throws when they counted helped propel his team to victory game after game. Please welcome quarterback Sonny Jurgensen. Gentlemen, thank you for all the memories you have given not only to the football fans in Washington, D.C., but to football fans everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, the 70 greatest Redskins. Chris Berman will have more from the studio on the Kia Halftime Show after these messages.
Watch Monday Night Countdown, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN, delivered by UPS.
This halftime show is presented by Kia and the all-new Sorento SUV. Kia, make every mile count.
Well, we saw him honored as one of the top 10 Redskins. Vintage big stick Sam Huff, middle linebacker who stood out so much for Washington after coming over to trade with the Giants. And since they're playing the Colts, how about Mike Curtis, number 32 in the middle? He stuffed Zonk, and who can forget him stuffing this fan who tried to steal a game ball? I guess you'd think a little better of that the next time. Sam Shea doing some big sticks of his own. The Redskins all over the Colts, 23-7, second half action in a moment.
In what has been a dominant performance, the Redskins are leading the Colts 23-7. Indianapolis will get the ball to start, but Steve Spurrier's offense geared a lot to Stephen Davis tonight, has worked beautifully, and Peyton Manning has had relatively few chances, and when he has, the Redskins defense has shut him and the other member of the triplets down. Walters from the 4. Stuck at the 23. Moments ago, Susie had a chance to talk to Tony Dungy.
Tony, I guess, first of all, how do you get the ball back in your team's hands? 19 plays in the first half, 48 yards.
Well, we have to start playing defense. You know, we just haven't played any defense in the first half. They've kept the ball, converted all the third downs, and we got to get them stopped when we get to a 3rd and long.
How do you get Shane Matthews out of a groove?
Well, hopefully we're just tackling better and covering a little bit better. You know, we've got to just start playing our game in the second half.
Thanks, Tony.
Peyton Manning to throw on 1st down, and Finn takes a hellacious shot over the middle and can't hold this one. David Terrell with a wicked blast on the fullback.
Yeah, but look who's back up and running back in the huddle. Finn. This guy is tough. Watch this. First of all, play action. And then the hit. Oh, man.
Oh. David Terrell times this absolutely perfect. You'll notice he doesn't hit him in the helmet. Hits him right below the shoulder pad and sends him one way and the ball the other.
Deke Leader. Edger and James has had no running room tonight, still doesn't.
You know, Joe, you said you didn't think he was up to 100%. I don't care if he's 150%. If you can't block anybody, you can't run the football, and they haven't blocked anybody in this first half of the ball game and starting again here in the 3rd quarter.
In particular, Jeremiah Trotter. This could be the best game he's played all year.
And certainly as a group, this is the best the defense has played. Marvin Lewis said this week, I think we finally figured it out. I think he's right. Manning under pressure, hit as he throws, complete to Harrison. Darrell Green forced him out of bounds at the 40.
The reason I'm laughing, I just can't believe he's open. Now, I know he's a great player, and I know he's a go-to guy, and he's a playmaker. But you know, on 3rd down, they're going to throw to 88, and they throw to 88.
He's so quick in and out of breaks. I think Isaac Bruce and Marvin Harrison are the 2 quickest receivers in the league when it comes to full speed and making cuts.
And the Redskins defense will call timeout.
Well, I would, because they had 14 guys.
That would be a problem. Back in a moment. ESPN Sunday Night Football brought to you by Residence Inn. Your Marriott awaits. Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be. Michelob Ultra, lose the carbs, not the taste. And Mazda, log on to Enhanced TV at ESPN.com for a chance to win a Mazda 6 Sport Sedan and other great prizes. The Washington Monument dominating the Washington skyline, 550 feet tall. And right now, the Redskins defense must look that big to Peyton Manning and the Colts. Blitz coming. Manning throws. Ismail makes the catch. He'll pick up about 8, driven out of bounds shy of the 50.
This offense has too much ability and potential to be shut down as good as they were in the first half. I really think the credit has to go to the Redskins offense for keeping them off the field and controlling them in the first half. Now you see Peyton Manning in and out of the huddle quickly, finding the people he wants to get the football to, Ismail and Harrison outside.
James as they try the run again. Able to turn the corner a little bit, taken out of bounds. It will be a 1st down in Redskin territory. LeVar Arrington with the stop.
Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator of the Colts, when they made a coaching change to Tony Dungy, Tom Moore stayed on. He's in his 25th year. As a matter of fact, he recruited Tony Dungy out of high school to go to the University of Minnesota. They've been together since Tony was 17 years old.
As a quarterback.
And actually did very well at the University of Minnesota.
Yes, he did.
And Tom Moore is one of the best play callers ever. Gardner with the pressure. That ball's tipped. Arrington got a finger on it.
On the other side, the guy in charge of getting LeVar Arrington in the right place is Marvin Lewis.
You know, I really like what he said on Friday when we were talking to him. He said, well, in the Green Bay game, we think we turned a corner. And we're all going to be on the same page Sunday night, I hope.
Well, the other thing he said, you give me cover guys, rushers, and playmakers, and I can put a defense together. And he has. And he's developed them.
Manning with time. That one's tipped at the line of scrimmage wide of Harrison. Let's go to Susie. Or
let's go to Marvin. I'll tell you one thing about LeVar Arrington, who is playing a phenomenal game tonight. He's playing basically with only one arm. He came in and he shook hands with it left-handed because his right arm is killing him.
Manning guns this one, tipped up in the air and intercepted, picked off by Darrell Green. Look at the speed.
No, it's not. It's incomplete.
Yeah, but it sure looks good in this stadium.
Boy, doesn't it ever.
They waved it as an incomplete pass.
And relief on the face of Peyton Manning.
Well, he's just uncomfortable.
Pass is ruled incomplete. The ball hit the ground. 4th down.
Peyton Manning looks so uncomfortable in the pocket. The pressure, the excellent job by the secondary of the Redskins is just not giving him a chance to find the holes he wants. Watch the pressure. It's Bruce Smith coming around behind him. Just enough to be an irritation, making him force the throw to Marvin Harrison.
It hit the ground in front of Harrison. But did you see the burst by Darrell Green? The Redskins will get the ball back. They are throttling the Colts offense. And after a 24-yard punt, good field position. (23-7) Redskins over the Colts. You're looking at Old Town Alexandria in Virginia, just across the river. Wonderful colonial flavor there. Kenny Watson is in at running back because Stephen Davis, you saw him earlier being treated on the sideline, is out with a bad knee. So Watson will carry the load, presumably, in the second half. When the Redskins defense loaded up with all these Pro Bowl linebackers, they already had a good secondary. You had the feeling it was going to take a while, but eventually they were going to be good. Tonight might be the night.
Well, I think the one thing about it, Marvin Lewis said to us about the players, like Bruce Smith and guys, I got to teach these guys not to be Bruce Smith. I got to teach LeVar Arrington not to be LeVar Arrington, what he did before. I want him to do what I want him to do now.
They have to unlearn and then relearn.
Matthews with another strike to Darius Thompson, who's had a big night.
David Macklin just can't stay with Darius Thompson. Macklin's at 5'9", Thompson's at 6'2". He's a bigger target, and Shane Matthews just puts the ball on the inside, and he uses that big body as a shield.
Last week, Thompson had career highs, 5 catches for 89 yards. Tonight, 4 for 63. Watson met 5 yards downfield by Marcus Washington.
You know, 2 weeks ago, we did Miami and Denver, and we saw 2 defensive lines dominate a football game. And the problem here tonight with the Indianapolis Colts is just 2 things. Their offensive line and their defensive line.
Well, I think
neither one of them are doing anything.
But I think you have to give credit to the Redskins concept. They're not just rushing 4 and 5. They saw what the Steelers did to Manning, and they're putting equally as much pressure on him as he got last week.
Matthews, short set, and the short strike to Rod Gardner. Gardner, the former #1 draft choice out of Clemson. Had trouble hanging onto the ball a year ago. That was his second catch tonight.
I think the most important thing for a quarterback in the National Football League is to know what the offensive coordinator wants from you and a play when he calls it. That is something that Shane Matthews has a big advantage with on this football team, having played for Coach Spurrier. He knows what he's thinking when he calls a play, and he knows where he wants him to go with the football.
Look at a protection from Matthews. And throws this one wide. Rasby pulled up short, and the pass nearly picked by Idris Bashir.
You'd have to say that's the first real miscue this offense has had all night.
Well, Rasby pulled up, but I think Matthews threw the ball where he thought he was supposed to be. And, that's where this offense is. You throw the ball where this guy's supposed to be, and they're supposed to get there. That's why the other day when I was sitting there watching Steve Spurrier on McCants chewed him out for almost 10 minutes because he didn't run the slant pattern the way he wants it run.
From the shotgun, four-man rush, and Jaquez Green couldn't hold it. Walt Harris may have gotten a hand in there.
You see the way Shane Matthews has distributed the ball. Look at the middle of the football field right there. 6 passes, 6 for 6 down the middle of the football field. Basic concept of Tony Dungy and Ron Meek's defense is corners up, safeties back. If you run a little play action fake, that means the linebackers are up and it exposes the middle, which Shane Matthews has exploited.
4 wideouts on 3rd and 10. Blitz coming. They don't get there. Pass too high for Gardner.
Mike, I'll go back to that pass that Jaquez Green dropped. Kevin Lockett fumbled in the game against Green Bay last week. Steve Spurrier put him down. Now, Lockett had 11 catches and 2 touchdowns, and he sat him down and put up McCants in his place.
Who had not played.
So, I mean, Coach Spurrier, like he said, I'm still learning about these guys. They're almost on a week-to-week trial basis. If you play well this week, I'll let you dress next week.
That's right. Now, I don't see anything wrong with that either. There's some accountability. Walters on the punt return stopped shy of the 15-yard line. Only a 2-yard return after a good punt by Brian Barker inside the 20. Only 27 yards, but he did his job. The Indianapolis Colts have 9:33 to go in the 3rd quarter. They have been outrushed every game this year, even with Edgerrin James back. Tonight they have rushed for 17 yards. That's it. Manning under pressure. Picked off. Fred Smoot with the interception down to the 13-yard line. A return of 14 and a poor throw for the Colts.
It was a poor throw, but I'm going to tell you something. There was a whole lot of pressure by Darryl Gardner, number 92 of the Redskins. Look on the right-hand side of your screen. Look at 92. He's going right after Peyton Manning and forces him to throw the ball high. Here it comes. Look at this guy.
See, Peyton Manning has to change his delivery and bring it in tighter to his head. That causes the ball to go a lot further in front of Marvin Harrison than he wanted to.
He has certainly been under duress tonight. Without a running game, he's a sitting duck. Redskins able to set up shop at the Colts 13. Matthews under pressure, tries to throw to Betts, incomplete.
Shane Matthews made an interesting point to us the other day. He said, I don't like sacks. I don't take sacks. I'm not going to take sacks. And you see him move around to make plays, and he feels like that's really one of his strong suits. Knows where he wants to go with the ball. The problem is Peyton Manning doesn't have that mobility. He can't move around quite as much. And when you run the play-action pass, what you're basically doing is getting your safety valve locked up in the line of scrimmage, trying to help out on protection, and it becomes 2- and 3-man routes.
2nd and 10 for the Redskins. Matthews underneath, complete to Rock Cartwright, the rookie fullback out of Kansas State.
What a great name. Rock Cartwright.
Well, he's a bowling ball, 5'7", 237.
Let's throw it to the Rock.
Give it to the Rock. Let the Rock go make a block.
You know, the thing about it is he had to make the team. I mean, just with his name, he had to make the team.
I think that's what Steve said in the beginning of the year. You just like him.
3rd and 4. Peyton Manning hoping the defense can hold it to a field goal. Blitz coming. Betts inside the 5. Needed to reach about the 4.5 for a first down. Jason Doring made the tackle. And the Redskins do not send out the field goal team.
It's 4th down, and they're going. And I don't blame them. Why not?
And this is the 10th time this year that Steve Spurrier has gone for it on 4th down. He's made 4 previous. He's not afraid, and he's certainly not bashful.
No, why? Really, the reason your defense is playing so well, what difference does it make down here?
Matthews to throw.
Pass
to the corner, incomplete, knocked down, and guess who was back on coverage? Rob Morris, the middle linebacker, and he knocked it down at the goal line. So the Redskins pass on an easy 3, but they still lead 23-7. The Colts defense made a stand. Can the Colts offense do something? James had a hole this time, and Edgerrin James slung down past the 15 by Ifeanyi Oalete. Here's the Colts drive chart. Nothing, 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 nothing. The touchdown came after a fumble. The drive only went 3 yards for a touchdown, a punt, and an interception.
I guess that would be nothing and a lot of nothing.
That's right. Little breathing room here. And Arrington shows blitz, and somebody moved up front.
Now that should be on Arrington.
71 offense.
I don't know.
5 yards.
There's a rule that's been changed that if a defensive player makes a move towards the line of scrimmage and the offensive guy flinches, it should be a 5-yard penalty against the defense. Arrington starts running up inside and stops. Watch Arrington, number 50. He makes the move. He comes in.
And he's in a neutral zone.
And to me, I don't agree with that call.
I don't either.
I think it should have been against the Redskins.
They show blitz again and come. Manning unloads. And Harrison has it out at the 24-yard line.
You know what's interesting about tonight? What? 6 times the Colts have started inside their own 30 coming out. And not once have they crossed the 50-yard line.
And they haven't really thrown anything deep, but this is another short route to Marvin Harrison. Darrell Green plays on the outside, and I think they have to challenge the ball down the field at some point.
2nd and 2. James. A little slow getting to the hole, a stutter step, but should have enough for the first down.
You have a real contrast in receivers in this game. Marvin Harrison at 6 feet. Reggie Wayne at 6 feet, Kadri Ishmael at 6 feet, and then you go to the Redskins, you got 6'2" Gardner, 6'4" Doring, Thompson 6'2", McCants is 6'3". It's little guys versus big guys outside, and the big guys are winning tonight.
And the thing that strikes you about Harrison when you see him in person, he's listed at 175. Doesn't look like he can weigh 160. Blitz coming. Manning in trouble. Down he goes. LeVar Arrington. His 6th sack of the year.
But I'll tell you what, again, you're in a position, you're running a play-action pass, which takes time. And then you don't have enough people to block. Here comes LeVar Arrington. You look at this. They never got back to the outside to block him.
Not only does it take time, Paul, but you turn your back to the line of scrimmage. Peyton Manning loses all vision of what's happening up front when he turns around. 56 is right in his face.
We talked about those missed tackles by Arrington. Perhaps it's the bad hand, but he didn't miss that one. Manning, pump and go. Completes it to Reggie Wayne. Makes his first catch, then fumbles out of bounds, but it's a first down Colts.
You know, you said one time at the beginning of this game, Joe, about Manning going to Harrison maybe to a fault. And there are other guys on this team that other people really don't respect that much because Manning doesn't throw to him. Look how wide open
Reggie Wayne is, and that's only because he pumped to Marvin. You're right, Paul. I mean, sometimes he gets so focused in that the other guys have to make plays.
James to the 45. And Oalete came up from his safety spot to make the stop. He and Sam Shade have been alternating. Oalete on the verge of taking over.
And you have to run the football, and they have to stay with it. There's 4:45 and counting in the third quarter. They're down only by 16 points.
They got a chance to cross the 50 for the first time tonight, too.
Hello.
Manning down the middle to Pollard to the 25-yard line. Oalete was there, but not in time, and a strike from Peyton Manning.
Wait a minute. When we went to break on that fourth down, and Michael didn't agree. He thought he should kick the field goal, and look what's happened with the Colts.
Good play action. Here's a shot from Skycam. Gives you a perspective of what Peyton Manning is seeing. He sees the safety outside. He knows Pollard's a big target. Marcus Pollard going up, making a big play. He expected to have 70 catches for 12 touchdowns for 900 yards. That's what Marcus Pollard's goal is.
James, reverse to Harrison. Harrison wants to throw. No place to throw it, and he takes off. Marvin Harrison dives near the 25.
You know what? I hate reverses. I hate reverse passes. But when you put it in the hands of a guy like Marvin Harrison, all kinds of great things can happen. Not should. Here it comes.
The reason why I like this call is because the Redskins have been pursuing so hard that it creates a problem. But the guy that really messed that up was LeVar Arrington with his penetration. He was 5 yards in the backfield, forced Marvin Harrison deep.
2nd and 2 for the Colts. Edgerrin James following his blockers close to the first down at the 24.
Manning and James, they're connected at the hip. Peyton Manning struggles when Edgerrin James can't run the football. Because what happens is it allows the play action passes and the big plays. We saw it a little bit in the first half. One to Harrison, one to Pollard. So far in the second half, they haven't been able to shake it loose.
The Colts offense seems energized after holding the Redskins at the other end of the field. Blitz coming. And a strike to Harrison down to the 13-yard line. Another first down, Colts. Here comes Indianapolis.
Well, I'll tell you what Peyton Manning's doing. He's getting rid of the ball a lot quicker because he's reading blitzes now. And he's pointing back to all of his people. Watch how fast he gets rid of this ball. This is in a hurry. Marvin Harrison's across the middle. That's first down.
The other thing, he's in and out of the huddle with 20 seconds to go on the 40-second clock.
Manning underneath to Wayne, and Wayne is belted as he got the ball by Jesse Armstead.
Well, these linebackers bring some lumber.
Don't they?
Arrington, Trotter, and Armstead. I mean, they're not just literally taking people down. They're slicing them in half.
The problem was they had to learn to play the system, and they had to learn to play together.
And this is just the beginning of when they're supposed to understand it.
Manning on this drive, 5 out of 5, 69 yards. Pump fake, drops it to James. Flag is down.
And there's a flag on the play.
What a play, though, by Peyton Manning.
But this is holding against the Colts.
Holding, 78, offense, 10 yards. Repeat, second down.
Tarek Glenn on Bruce Smith. You know, sooner or later in a game, somebody's going to get a holding penalty on Bruce Smith because he's just so quick. 18 years. We marvel at Darrell Green. Now, he's a corner, and he's taken some hits, but nobody has taken the play-to-play pounding like Bruce Smith has in his career.
It's amazing what great shape he's in at his age. I mean, he is in just top shape.
Number 2 all-time in sacks to Reggie White. Manning in trouble, throws, got it. Kadri Ismail as Manning hung in a pocket just as long as he could.
To the last second, Peyton Manning, give this guy a lot of credit. There are a lot of things that are happening to him tonight, but I'll tell you what when you look at him, he's going to do whatever it takes to win, and he's going to take some raps.
Third and 4 for the Colts on a critical drive. Blitz comes. Manning with a strike. They've got the first down inside the 3.
The one thing that I've noticed about Peyton Manning is, as he gets to the line of scrimmage, what he's doing is he is going out there, and instead of pointing everything out and saying, you've got him, you've got him, you've got him, he's getting up, he's taking the snap, he's getting the ball out, and he's getting completions.
Start of the 4th quarter, it is 23-7 Redskins, but the Colts have a 1st and goal. Down 16 points with 15 minutes to go. No.
Don't go away. This is Sunday Night Football. Don't go anywhere.
We're a 60-minute show. We're a 60-minute football show, a 3-hour-plus show, just in case. And I do not believe that they will be able to run the football effectively down here. I think they've got to go to some type of play action.
There it is. Manning with time, Edger and James, touchdown.
What an excellent job of continuing to work. I mean, there's a lot of traffic that Peyton Manning is working against.
Peyton Manning, brilliant on the drive. 8 out of 8, 87 yards, and now they'll go for 2.
Watch the play action fake. Now, he looks to the right, looks to the right, looks to the right. Now looks to the left and then comes back. And what makes that so important is by looking to the places that he did, he allows the defense to separate a little bit and allows Edgerrin James to get in the end zone.
This could cut the lead to 8. And now the Redskins have used a timeout on defense.
Nobody knows who called it.
It is their second of the half. They have only 1 left. (23-13) as the Colts, left for dead, are coming back, and they're setting up for a 2-point conversion. This would make it an 8-point game. Another touchdown, a 2-point conversion.
Paul, you still like it when Coach Spurrier went for it down there on 4th down and 1 instead of trying to kick the field goal?
I did, because the defense was playing so well. But
I agree with you. I would not back. I think it was the right move at the right time. I really do. You got yourself a good-sized lead. Your defense is playing well. You go with what's out there. And you just realize that Peyton Manning is not the kind of a player you can keep down. What I've been impressed with is Peyton hasn't tried to force any balls tonight like he did a week ago. Been more patient trying to make plays. And I would certainly double up on Marvin Harrison, because my guess is that's who's going to get the ball.
Manning changes the play. Edgerrin James. He calls for the run, and it is wide open. Peyton Manning may be the smartest, most hard-working quarterback that's ever played this game.
Don't you just love what he did? He stopped everything, and he looks at Harrison. Watch him look over there. Watch him look at him. And that pulls that defense. I'm telling you, when he does it to the outside, he's already got the run in his mind.
ESPN Sunday Night Football brought to you by Computer Associates, the software that manages e-business, and MGM's Die Another Day, starring Pierce Brosnan, rated PG-13. This time of the year, the Burton Nursery transforms into a kid's paradise. It's called the Pumpkin Playground.
And every child has a smile.
Don't they?
It's a great time of the year. Halloween is great. I wear this mask all year long.
And it works, too.
Peyton Manning has led the Colts back into the game, down by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Ladell Betts on the return. Out to the 30. Let's check in with Susie.
Mike, another big night for Marvin Harrison. 5 catches, 63 yards. Tony Dungy says that he's had the opportunity to play with or coach a lot of the greats. Lynn Swan, John Stallworth, Chris Carter. He said he's never seen a receiver as competitive in practice. He calls him a craftsman. Amazed at how hard he works at it, his ability to make adjustments and get open. He's a great finisher, great acceleration, great hands, durability. He's a freak of nature.
Matthews back to throw, Susie. And sacked back at the 25. The pressure finally gets there. James Canada, who they picked up from Tampa Bay because he knew Tony Dungy's defensive system.
Well, this is one of this play here. It was defensive coverage, but Shane Matthews has got to get rid of this ball. He said to you, I don't like to take a sack. Don't take one. Get rid of the ball.
Well, that time the coverage did a nice job. The safety was in the middle of the field. It wasn't open that time.
2nd and 15 for the Redskins. Draw play, Kenny Watson. Back past the original line of scrimmage, it will bring up 3rd and long.
What a difference between Kenny Watson and Stephen Davis. Now, we saw Stephen Davis run that same play probably 3 times in the first half before he got hurt. To me, that would have been a first down.
Well, Paul, I think it's the difference when you think of Kenny Watson and Ladell Betts. Betts is a rookie. Watson's had 1 year. That's the difference. I think, you know, Stephen Davis has seen it. He knows what he wants to do.
And he's a Pro Bowler.
And he's a big guy.
3rd and long for the Skins. Blitz coming. They pick it up. Matthews throws. Incomplete. Knocked away by Walt Harris. Nice defensive play. And the momentum of this game has changed completely.
I said don't go anywhere on Sunday night because things are going to change. And what happened on that 4th down play, and Michael, you're the only one that got right. They should have kicked the field goal. They have allowed the Indianapolis Colts back in the ball game.
I thought they should have kicked the field goal simply because it would have made it a 3-score game. Okay. Another poor kick. And the Redskins will down it at the 35. A 33-yard kick. The rejuvenated Indianapolis Colts down by 8. The Redskins had it their way the entire game. There's an eternity left in this one. 13:24 to go in the game. The Colts, moribund the entire game, have come to life. Manning under pressure. Arrington takes him down at the 34.
One of the things that happened just on this play alone, if you notice for 3 quarters that the Washington Redskins, the 4 guys down, and the linebackers were hugging the line of scrimmage. Look where the linebackers are now. Now they're out in pass coverage. Now here comes Arrington.
Look at him close, too.
Oh, well, Peyton Manning's not going to outrun him.
Yeah, but still, I'd love to see LeVar Arrington chase Michael Vick. I'd pay to see that race.
Not too many people are going to run away from him. The 2nd sack of the night for Arrington. Edger and James lost his balance and went down. So did Manning on the handoff.
LeVar Arrington has been everywhere tonight. If he's not rushing, he's dropping back and swatting balls on the ground. This is the first play of the game, trying to keep it alive for his teammates. Now look at him flow to the ball and run across the formation to make the play. Here he comes on the blitz. Runs by 2 blockers to make the sack. LeVar Arrington has been everywhere for the Redskins tonight, and that's what they expect from him.
Made the Pro Bowl a year ago, will be a fixture in that game. 3rd and long, blitz coming. Manning complete to Harrison. He has the first down at the 47.
You know what? They were waiting for Harrison to go across the middle like he's been normally doing, and this time he broke it back to the outside, and there was nobody there.
Tony Dungy finally getting to see his offense go. Here comes. This is the route you're talking about, Paul. Look at the quick little moves. Redskins tried to put pressure on Manning, left him one-on-one with Darrell Green.
Harrison has caught more balls in the first 4 years, 5 years, and 6 years of his career than anyone ever. And Edger and James has nowhere to go. Ronaldo, Wynn, and Arrington are there again. I mean, if you're a running back and all you see are burgundy jerseys, it's a tough night.
Well, LeVar Arrington, we just did a little highlight package on him. This guy has got such great speed and quickness. He is just, I mean, look how fast he's in the hole.
You watch for some play action and crossing routes now, though, with the Redskins running the ball like this with their linebackers.
Manning hanging in the pocket, finally throws. And Ismail diving, trying to get first down yardage, and he's got it.
You know
what's very close.
You know what's contagious? Ismail, I've watched this guy for a long time, and he would get out of bounds. But you're seeing all these other guys sacrifice their body, and the receiver sees that. Ismail says, wait a minute, I can get this first down. All I have to do is dive forward. I'm going to take a shot, but I'm going to get it. And that's exactly what he did.
How good is Peyton Manning? The last 3 years, over 4,000 yards passing. Nobody has ever done that. Play action. Under pressure, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Oalete. His second pick of the season, and huge right there.
Look at his face. He knows that that's his fault.
You see what he said?
You bet.
Why? He's asking himself, why did I do this? It's the same trap he got himself in a week ago. Just throw it away and go play football. You don't need to make that play.
(23-15) Redskins ball after the interception with Stephen Davis injured. The Redskins alternating between Kenny Watson and Liddell Betts.
I want to show you from Skycam what this looks like. It's the play-action pass by Peyton Manning. What he wants to do, and as we roll it, we'll get a chance to get a real feel for what he sees. Here comes the play-action fake. Now, right there, right here, he's looking at this lane right there. What happens is he winds up scrambling out now, and then he has the problem.
Matthews under pressure. The ball tipped and nearly intercepted, and Shane Matthews was crushed by middle linebacker Rob Morris.
Ouch. Rob Morris came right up the middle and almost killed Shane Matthews. Do you know, in 6 drives with Stephen Davis in the game, they gained 256 yards, and in 3 drives with Davis out of the game, 48 yards. Does that tell you how important he is to this team?
And Matthews in this half has hit only 3 out of 10. 3rd and 9.
Oh,
bad snap. And Shane Matthews can't cover it up. Still a fight for the ball. No signal. Matthews may have gotten it back, and what a break for the Redskins.
What? Steve Spurrier's got to be pulling his hair out. I mean, this team looked so unbeatable in the first half of this ball game. Well, look at this.
Larry Moore just airmails this one over Matthews' head. Now, he's lucky that he winds up on top of that one. That was just a lucky ball coming back to him.
So the Skins cannot take advantage of the interception. Nearly handed it right back. Walters from the 24. Has a seam. Walters just pushed out of bounds by the punter Brian Barker. A 36-yard return.
Well, the Indianapolis Colts lost Terrence Wilkins, so they had to go find themselves a return man. I think they did a pretty good job.
.8:46 to go. The Colts start from the Redskins 41. It is remarkable that the Colts are still in this ball game. Ricky Williams is the new running back. Ricky Williams straight up the middle. This is the other Ricky Williams, the rookie from Texas Tech.
Yeah, but he looked like the one from Texas on that one.
I'll tell you, that time, that offensive line opened up a hole. Look at this. Ricky Williams, look at the hole. He's not even touched until he gets through. And that's a one-arm tackle that you're not going to make on that guy.
The Colts need a touchdown and a two-point conversion to tie this game up. Williams again.
Peyton Manning has really struggled tonight. You see his completions, the 2 interceptions, and it's lucky he only has 2 interceptions. This is the first play of the game. LeVar Arrington coming in to make a play, then almost picked off by the safety. This one does wind up getting picked off by Fred Smoot, and then he really tries to force one in, and Olete winds up making the play there.
Manning with the pump fake. Then to Harrison. In between the corner and the safety, out of bounds.
You know what causes this play? Peyton Manning, for some reason tonight, doesn't look like he has a very good grip on the ball. This ball is as far from a spiral as it could be. If this ball is thrown like he has the ability to throw as a spiral, it's an easy catch for Marvin Harrison. That one went fluttering out of his hand. Tom Moore seems like he's got a little bit of a rhythm with his play calling as well.
2nd and 10, 7:36 to go. Williams on the draw, room to run. Ricky Williams lowers his shoulder and gets to the 20.
Boy, did he just show you some great feet. I'm telling you, there's some pretty good blocking up front, but his feet never stop. The reason that Ricky Williams makes this successful, don't look at anything else but his feet. Watch him. Left, right, right again, back inside. Look at it. Boom, boom.
That same offensive line that we talked about not being able to block anybody created a nice hole there.
Here's the interesting thing. They got him in a trade from New Orleans, so the Saints traded 2 guys named Ricky Williams. Manning.
Ricky Williams.
Wide open Williams. Touchdown. Holy cow.
Well, Peyton Manning fakes to Ricky Williams. He shows the ball. They said he's the best faker in the business. He fakes it. Ricky Williams comes out of the backfield, and absolutely nobody went even close to him.
You're not going to convince me that that Edgerrin James is 100%. When I see Ricky Williams flying around like this with great quickness, great faking there, nice job of carrying out the fake. And look at Peyton Manning look left and then come back and just drop a little snowbird up to Ricky Williams.
Wide open is not the way to describe it because there wasn't a soul within 20 yards.
What they've done is they're taking advantage of the Redskins' aggressiveness by their linebackers, in particular LeVar Arrington.
Redskins were a man short. Ronaldo Wynn barely got on the field. A 2-point conversion would tie this game.
Same play as last time.
Incomplete. Knocked away by Fred Smoot. He did the job on defense. It was intended for Ismail.
Fred Smoot, yeah. Yeah, but this ball's thrown at the wrong spot. You have to throw this at the outside shoulder, not the inside shoulder where the defender is. Again, a bad pass. If that ball is thrown to the outside shoulder where it belongs, then Peyton Manning has a chance to complete that pass to Qadri Ismail.
It was 20-0. Redskins. Now it's 23-21. What a turnaround for the Colts. Even with all the mistakes that they have made tonight, they are in this ball game.
Just remember one thing about this game, and it's going to come down to this, I believe. The Redskins only have 1 timeout remaining in this ball game, and that's important.
They wasted one on a 2-point conversion because they were short a player.
And, Joe, you made a great point just a minute ago, I think, about Edgerrin James not being 100%. You have a game that is critical for the Colts. They're in first place in their division. It's late in the game. They replaced the guy who led the league in rushing twice and put in a rookie.
And that's what Tony Dungy's all about. Put the players out there to make plays.
Watson and Betts are deep. Liddell Betts from the 10 on the line drive kick. And Betts to the 30. Let's go to Susie.
Well, Mike, a new show debuts on ESPN a week from Monday. It's called Around the Horn. Max Kellerman is the host. If this game was the subject matter, give us a quick example.
I'll give you a segment right now. Guys, you don't know what to expect quarter to quarter, let alone week to week. Do you like it, yes or no? TJ Simers in L.A. Well, I hate it, Max. You know, in L.A. we have the Lakers, and they win every year. Jay Mariotti in Chicago. Well, 86,000 fans in Washington would disagree with you, TJ, and so on.
Coast to coast arguing. Everybody loves
coast to coast arguing on sports.
Best of luck with it.
Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Max. Across the 41 goes Kenny Watson.
Max didn't need a microphone. We could have heard Max for that.
I don't have an eardrum now either. This has become a battle of the backup running backs. Kenny Watson and Liddell Betts for the Redskins and Ricky Williams for the Colts. And they're doing an excellent job taking some pressure off their quarterbacks.
Redskins would love to work the clock down. Approaching 6 minutes. They lead by 2. Matthews under pressure, but completes it anyway. And there is a flag down. This may be an interference call as Gardner caught the ball inside of Macklin.
Well, this is a first down anyway, and it is against Macklin.
Holding or interference on the pass play.
Holding, 27 defense, penalties decline. Result of the play is a first down.
Just to straighten out a little bit what happened, not on this play. Gardner, watch his hands again. There's the holding, but look at him catch the ball with his hands. What an excellent job. And as far as Ricky Williams goes for the Colts, Edgerrin James has a little tweaked hamstring, and he was rested on the last play. And really, that's what happens when you miss so much of preseason. You're going to have these little injuries come up, and unfortunately, this is one that he's got now in this game.
Well, unfortunately for Indy, he did get it. Because we wouldn't see Ricky Williams if he hadn't.
And he was the key to that drive. First and 10 Redskins. Draw play. Watson fighting for extra yards. Gets down to the 45 where Corey Bird, the strong side safety, made the stop.
You know, guys, the Redskin offensive line has been maligned with the shots that Patrick Ramsey took in the games that he played and the Philadelphia game and San Francisco game, the last two that Shane Matthews played. But tonight, they've done a very good job of giving Shane Matthews lanes to throw the ball and places to step up and make plays. And also, particularly when Stephen Davis was in, Paul, and you pointed out, the creases he had to run in.
And the other thing about it, too, is with the running game, they were giving him 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4. Well, in this situation, he's 2nd and 6.
And they're doing it without 2 starters. Matthews, Gardner dropped that one. Nice throw by Shane Matthews, right on target.
See what happens every time you open your mouth and talk about how great a guy is with his hands and catches the ball. They can, oh, yeah, it's your fault. Why is he hitting himself in the chest? It's your fault.
Let me explain something to you.
What?
Mike Patrick does the same thing with guys shooting free throws, okay? So it's something we've done over the years.
Oh, I'm good at that.
Yep.
The living jinx. 3rd and 6 for the Skins, trying to keep this drive alive and work the clock. Watson on the draw. Close to a first down. The Redskins are even using Trey Johnson, who was signed this week, has not played since preseason when he was released by Cleveland. There's the big guy. He admitted he wasn't in football shape. It would take 2 to 3 weeks to learn the offense, and here he is, and boy, can he block.
It took 4 guys to get him in that jersey.
You know, though, I'll tell you, he looks thinner than he did when he left.
And what?
Than when he left.
To the other side of this building?
No, he does.
He can play, though, and it is a first down. Congratulations to the Anaheim Angels. They are the World Series champions. They beat the Giants tonight 4-1. An improbable ending to an improbable season.
Last night was unbelievable. The Giants losing it, having a 5-run lead, 1 out in the 7th.
Steve Spurrier saying, hurry, play clock winding down. Another good running play up the middle with Kenny Watson. Here's our game track. If you joined us late, Manning 3 touchdowns but 2 interceptions. He has willed this team back into the ballgame. Struggled early. Shane Matthews, brilliant early. Nearly 200 yards passing, 2 scores.
And here's a situation again, the advantage Shane Matthews because they've got him at 2nd and 5.
This would be a great opportunity for a deep route.
Another running play, another first down, and Kenny Watson has been very impressive the last few times he's been allowed to touch the ball. 10 carries, 61 yards for the first-year running back from Penn State.
Well, Kenny Watson, I mean, just credit the offensive line. They disappeared for about a quarter and a half, and now they're back again, and they're blocking. They got their confidence back. They're running the football, and that's the thing that they need to do. The only problem is don't score too early.
And now the Colts are going to have to start to worry about using their timeouts. They have all 3.
Plus the 2-minute warning. So they're really going to be able to stop it 4 times.
But if the Redskins get a touchdown, it wouldn't matter. Watson again. Bouncing off tacklers. Watson to the 21-yard line.
They'll take a timeout here.
And taking the timeout, this is where they're going to have to stop the Redskins.
Yeah.
On this series.
Well, obviously, they have to hold the Redskins to a field goal because if the Redskins score a touchdown and you add them up, folks, and the extra point, that's 9, and you can't do anything with that.
What's a little bit surprising to me is in the first half, the Colt defense was on the field, and you could sense maybe they got a little bit tired. But in this second half, their offense has done a good job of giving them a chance to get rested, get over to the sidelines, and do the job they're supposed to. But Darrell Green and his mates defensively, I've been picked on a little bit, and it's been really the Peyton Manning, Ricky Williams show here in the second half for the Colts.
And a huge turnaround in yardage, but you have to tip your cap to that Redskins patchwork offensive line. Not only have they blocked very well and given protection to Shane Matthews, but they've opened up the running lanes.
And one of the things that I'm most surprised about, and it shows, I think, the difference in Steve Spurrier, is he is committed to running the football from the looks of it.
Absolutely.
And has this entire series.
Watson on the toss. They string this one out. Watson always seems to be going forward at the point of impact. Always seems to get that extra yard. And the Colts will use their second timeout. Wednesday night, the NBA season tips off on its new home, ESPN. Michael Jordan and the Wizards against Vince Carter and the Raptors. That's at 7. Then at 9:30, Kobe Bryant and the Lakers go for their 4th straight NBA title when they visit the Trailblazers. NBA Wednesdays on ESPN.
You know what I liked about watching the Lakers? Not watching Shaq so much as Kobe Bryant is when this guy was playing, like first half they'd hold him down.
Yeah.
Not for long, pal.
I got a kick out of watching them grow together. And Vince Carter, I had an opportunity. I mean, Jerry West has taken over the Memphis Grizzlies, going to do a terrific job down there. I was at a game, and Vince Carter's got one of the fastest accelerated first steps I've ever seen go into the hole.
3rd and 7. The Redskins spread the field. Watson is the single setback. Matthews throws. Gardner, first down. Fumbled the football, but he may have been down.
Anyway, he wasn't down. They haven't said anything yet.
Well, the question is it a catch?
And Walter Rasby, the tight end, was down there to recover it. They moved the ball back to the 7.
Having the opportunity to have the 2-minute warning come up may give Tony Dungy an opportunity to take a look at this and see if he wants to challenge.
SportsCenter comes up when we're done here at FedEx Field. We'll have all the day's action, including World Series highlights.
That's our answer to the S&P 500 right there. Scott and Patrick.
The Colts, 14 points in the 4th quarter. Right now, it is not enough. Indianapolis with 1 timeout left. Watson, gang tackled at the 6.
They've taken it.
They stop it at 1:53. This was such a big game for the Colts because it came in first place. It was a big game for the Redskins because Steve Spurrier said during preseason he expected to win the NFC East, and right now he's in a big hole.
Well, you take a look at their next games. I mean, when you take a look at what they've got coming, they've got to go on the road to Seattle next week, then Jacksonville, then the Giants, then they get St. Louis at home, and then the short week they get the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving. So this was and is a very critical game for them. But what I've seen is a total philosophy change of what Steve Spurrier wanted to do. He said that he could live with 4- and 5-yard gains, and that's exactly what he's done in this drive.
Colts out of timeouts, 1:53 to go. Redskins can seal it with a touchdown. Watson hit, he'll lose a couple.
Let me explain something to you, Joe. When we go on camera, both of us have to get in. I mean, I didn't get in, and I got nothing. I don't mind you being. Can we come back on camera, please? I would like to get in. And the thing that was really amazing about me, I would think you don't have to look at all your notes. You should know all those games that these guys are going to have to play.
You don't have to look at your one.
I have a note.
Right there.
I have a note. It's right there.
What is it?
I don't know. I can't read it. I don't have my glasses on, but I do have a note. But I want you to remember this for the rest of the games we have to do. When we go on camera, we both have to get in.
It's getting very demanding all of a sudden.
Yes, it is.
It?
Well,
can we go back to the game now?
Watson on the toss. Just needs to stay in bounds, and he did. 40-second clock is now at 38, so they can run it down to about 20.
And the thing to do, really, run it down, call the timeout, take the time to get your field goal unit out on the field, which I would hope he's going to do. I would think what Shane Matthews is doing right now is he's walking up to the official and says, look, let's keep an eye on the clock. When it gets down to 20 seconds, I want a timeout.
Well, you've got to go for the field goal from here.
But this is, it's
I would assume.
Yes.
But this is what you do as the quarterback. You stand next to the official. You tell him what you're looking for so that he can make the call so there's no misunderstanding.
You know what's amazing to me, Joe? Thank you. It's really amazing to me, Joe, is like in like 2 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
And a guy runs a sweep. The officials get the ball real fast and they run it to the middle of the field, and they get it set right away. But in the regular part of the game, they never do that. They don't care. Time's running off. But at the end, they hurry up. Get up, get that ball up there.
Well, you know, and I like the fact that the officials do that, because what they're doing is they're giving the team that has the ball a chance. They're also saving some time on the clock for the defensive team, and I think it helps both sides, really.
Peyton Manning will have very little time left. He has led 12 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter or overtime, but not many of them of the 18-second variety.
Unless they get this blocked and run back.
Tuthill 3 for 3 tonight. 4 for 4, and now the Colts will need a touchdown with 18 seconds left.
You know, when you're mentioning Peyton Manning, it's very interesting talking to this young man and about the time that he spends on football. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it is absolutely amazing. I asked him, how much time do you feel you spend a week looking at film? And the interesting thing was, he looks at every single game that they played this year in his home.
Well,
this is after.
But he also says it's a little tougher when you get later into the season and there's been like 12 or 11 games. So but he'll go back a couple years and he'll try and get a feel for the coordinator. He'll try and get an idea. He'll look at Baltimore film to get an understanding of what Marvin Lewis did there.
I think Tony Dungy paid him the ultimate compliment. He said, I have had great players, and I have had players that worked so very hard. I have never had a great player that worked this hard.
Well, he's got his work cut out for him right now.
There's that when he gets done doing his film preparation for his offense for the game, there is absolutely nothing that he doesn't know about the defense.
What I like about it is this is his job, and he takes it seriously. And
yes, he does.
You got to hope that Edgerrin James gets himself healthy enough to be able to be a bigger part of this offense, because unless they're able to run it, this offense will not have any success.
Tuthill to kick off. The clock will not start until it's touched by the Colts.
Do you kick it deep here, Paul, or do you just sort of pooch it down there?
It'll let him. Your defense is fine. Just go ahead and kick it away.
What? Tuthill booms one. Walters at the 3. Makes the cut to the outside. The clock is ticking away as Walters reaches the 37. 11 seconds to go. Olete down on special teams for the Skins.
What Peyton Manning has to do in this instance is he has to get a completion far enough down the field so that he can make the next throw into the end zone. So he's going to have to complete this thing about 15, 20 yards to give himself a decent shot to get the ball up in the air into the end zone.
And I think the Redskins will back up enough that first of all, you're going to see the middle of the field is going to be wide open, but they'll back up enough to give him about 15 or 20 yards.
Can't throw it inbounds. They have no timeouts. Little hook and ladder. They drop the ball. Trotter recovers for the Redskins, and that will do it. The Colts trying to run a play that would get them out of bounds near midfield.
He did not have possession of this ball. This is going to be an incomplete pass, and the Colts should get another opportunity, I would think. This should be challenged upstairs. I'm not convinced he ever has possession of that ball.
Boy, that's close. Right at the end.
Yeah, he did at the end. He had both feet down, and he had that ball in his hand before he tried to pass it off to Ricky.
I still think it's warranted of a review upstairs. There's the pass being bobbled. Bobbled.
But no review is called, and the Redskins take a knee and win this ball game. They nearly blew a 20-0 lead, but hang on to win it 26-21. For Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire, Susie Culber, and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Good night from FedEx Field. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
ESPN, thank you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.